This is the Engwe E26, a powerful, comfortable and fun electric bike that impresses with its features and price point. But is it worth your hard-earned money? Stick around to find out. Let's start with the specs, because on paper the Engwe E26 is quite impressive. It features a powerful rear hub motor offering a top speed of around 50 km per hour. It is rated at 250 watts, but that's just a rating. In fact, this motor is capable of 70 Nm of torque and a max power output of around 1000 watts. This bike is powered by a removable 48 volts 16 Ah lithium-ion battery, giving you up to 120 km of range in pedal assist mode 1, with a more realistic 30 km using throttle only with some hills in the way. This bike comes with excellent hydraulic disc brakes, which do an awesome job stopping the bike. This bike rolls on 26-inch fat tires, which are great for tackling dirt, gravel and even snow, and making the ride as smooth as possible, soaking up every bump on the road, together with the front suspension fork, comfy seat and suspension seat post, which unfortunately doesn't work at all. The frame is made from an aluminum alloy with a bold, angular design. It's very strong and stiff, and I can't imagine it ever breaking. It features integrated front and rear lights, a rear rack and wide metal fenders, which do an excellent job at keeping every splash away from the rider. This bike can usually be found for under $1,500, making it very competitive in the mid to low end e-bike market. On paper, the Engwe E26 seems like a beast of an e-bike that offers a lot for the price. But specs alone don't tell the whole story, so let's see what it's actually like to use this bike. First off, let's talk about the design. The Engwe E26 is big, and I mean extremely big. To give you an idea, I'm 119 cm tall, and this is my own mountain bike. The E26 is enormous in comparison. The frame isn't actually that big, but the stem is so long that makes this bike uncomfortably big, unless you're like more than 2 meters tall. Fortunately, there is a simple fix that I suggest you do immediately if you purchase this bike, and that is swapping the stem for a 35 or 50 mm one. This modification alone made the bike feel way better, much more comfortable and controlled, providing an overall good riding position. The frame geometry isn't in fact that bad, making this bike one of the better options among the budget Chinese bikes market, providing also a quite nice look that resembles that of a modern mountain bike, compared to the other, in my opinion, very ugly frame designs that are becoming unfortunately more and more common. So, how does it ride? Well, the motor is plenty powerful for city commutes and moderate off-road use. It accelerates smoothly and has very high torque for climbing hills. Not as much as a mid-drive motor obviously, but it's impressive considering it is hub drive. The ride with the shorter stem is very comfortable, with the big tires and suspension eliminating every bump in the road, making for a truly amazing commuter bike that's a pleasure to cruise on. Unfortunately, the suspension seat post doesn't work at all. It might as well not be there, since it can't slide freely through the travel unless I quite literally jump on it. The bike feels very safe, sturdy and well built. It gives a sense of confidence and stability even when cruising at the max speed of 50 km per hour. The bike is pedal assisted without a torque sensor, which makes the ride worse in my opinion, but makes it possible to ride with much less effort by just spinning the pedals around and letting the motor do all the work for you. This is not really necessary since this bike comes with a throttle that makes it possible to ride without pedaling at all. For regulation reasons, it comes with the throttle disabled and the speed locked to 25 km per hour, at least here in Europe. But a quick trip into the hidden settings and it can be easily unlocked to eliminate the speed limit and enable the throttle. You just need to press the plus and minus buttons for 3 seconds and then the plus button for 15 seconds. I honestly don't suggest unlocking it to keep it legal and mainly to preserve the range. The battery life is in fact very good in pedal assist mode. while it's barely decent using throttle only. In fact, I was able to get just 20 km on throttle only with the bike unlocked and no hills in the way. Nothing amazing. However, things changed by keeping the bike locked. Using it in pedal assist mode allowed me to ride about 70 km on a single charge, with more than 700 meters of elevation. This is an amazing result and allows this bike to be used for long sandy rides, exploring new places and trails without ever worrying about range. Some other nice aspects of the bike are the very nice screen it comes with. It is very bright, easy to read and shows all the necessary information in a beautiful and clear interface. The controls are intuitive, with just a few buttons on the left handlebar that can select modes and cycle through some useful information displayed on the screen, such as the odometer, trip distance, and various other nice-to-have measurements. It also allows to access the hidden settings, which I don't suggest changing, as I already said, and also to turn on and off the lights, which are surprisingly bright and allow for safe nighttime riding, which is a nice touch for safety. Obviously, not everything is perfect. As I've already mentioned, the stem is super long. Other quirks are the pedal assist that kicks in a bit abruptly at times, and while it's manageable, it's not as refined as other higher-end bikes, but still a common problem amongst bikes of this price range without a torque sensor. Another thing I want to point out is the weight of this bike. In fact, it is quite heavy, coming in at a hefty 35 kilograms, which is a lot for a pedal bike, even if it's electric. The last thing I want to criticize is the shifter, which is a commonly found 7-speed Shimano model. Don't get me wrong, it changes gear surprisingly smoothly, even under heavy pedaling, but using the shifter itself is super awkward, with the levers being super difficult to reach since they are positioned above the handlebar, instead of below it close to your fingers. So, is the Engwe E26 worth it? As usual, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're a taller rider and looking for an affordable e-bike with solid power, range, and seek a comfortable ride, the Engwe E26 is a good option. It's a great commuter and weekend adventurer that won't break the bank, while still bringing a guaranteed smile to your face. However, if you're on the shorter side or ride exclusively on the streets, this might not be the best fit, since you might not need the big burly tires, heavy weight and mountain bike looks, and might be better off buying a commuter or gravel bike. At the end of the day, the Engwe E26 is a solid budget-friendly choice, with a few slight compromises acceptable for the price it comes in. Whether this is the right bike for you, it's only up to you to decide. In any case, you definitely will not be disappointed by this bike. That's it for this video, I'll catch you in the next one.